let's take a look at the global environment. Global business is the buying and selling of goods and services among different countries. A domestic business conducts businesses in only one country. A multinational corporation, an MNC, has ownership in operations in two or more countries. The foreign company is commonly referred to as a foreign subsidiary or affiliate. In essence, a subsidiary is a company owned and controlled by another company, making up a combined company called the holding or parent company. There is also a transnational company, a type of MNC that eliminates artificial geographical barriers without having a real single national headquarters. Foreign trade is about conducting business with other countries, so managers need to understand trade barriers. Overall, foreign trade benefits business and countries, but it does create losers as well as winners, and it can also hurt. An embargo is a total ban on the importing of a product from one or more countries. This protects domestic companies and employees, and it stops foreign products from entering the home country. Quota sets a limit on the number or volume of product that can be imported or exported during a set period. Subsidies include government grants, loans, and tax breaks given to domestic companies. A tariff is a direct tax on imports to make them more expensive. This tends to increase the price of exports, making them above or closer to the price of domestic products. Managers need to understand these four foreign trade barriers and how to use them at home and help prevent them from being used against them in other countries. Standard of living refers to the level of wealth, comfort, material goods, and necessities available to a certain socioeconomic class in a certain geographic area. People in developed countries have a higher standard of living because they get paid more and have a greater purchasing power, the relative cost of a product in different countries. The key to increasing the standard of living is to increase productivity. Diversity refers to the differences that make a difference among people. Diversity and work aren't separate because we tend to judge the nature of workers by the gender, race, and other diversity of the people who do the work. Workplace diversity includes both employees and customers. Diversity and affirmative action are sometimes thought of to be the same, but they aren't. Affirmative action policies are designed to improve work outcomes for underrepresented groups by providing them with extra help in the employment process. Affirmative action plans have increased the number of women and minorities in several occupations and in management, and thus help promote diversity at work. The terms diversity and inclusion are often used interchangeably, but they're different. Inclusion is the practice of ensuring that all employees feel that they belong. An inclusive value system creates a sense of belonging, a feeling of being respected, being valued for who you are, feeling a level of supportive energy and commitment from others so that everyone can do their best work. To be inclusive, we all need to empathize, put ourselves in the other's shoes, and try to understand where they're coming from and accept them for who they are rather than reject them or try to make them into what we need them or want them to be. Stereotyping, the mistaken generalization of a perceived characteristic of a diversity group to an individual, has negative consequences. Discrimination is illegal, and promoting diversity and inclusion creates equal opportunities for all employees, so it's the right thing to do. If employees don't feel included, they generally will not place a high value on organizational membership and will not be as productive as those who do. People unconsciously think like and favor people of their own social groups, so having diverse employees can bring unique cultural sensitivity that appeals to a diverse customer base. Are you willing to commit to offering true inclusion in your organization? Hofstede surveyed 116,000 IBM employees in about 40 countries about their work-related values. He identified 5 cultural dimensions on a continuum in which employees differ. These cultural dimensions continue to be studied. Power distance inequity versus power equity. Power distance being distributed between the levels of management down to employees can be more accepted or rejected as employees want to participate in decisions that affect them. Individualism versus collectivism. Individualist cultures believe that individuals should be self-sufficient, with loyalty to themselves first and the group and company second, whereas collectivism places the group and company first. Assertiveness versus nurturing. Assertive cultures are more aggressive and competitive, with a focus on achievement and material possessions, whereas nurturing cultures emphasize the importance of relationships and quality of life. Uncertainty avoidance or acceptance. Uncertainty avoidance cultures like structured and security and are less likely to take risks, whereas uncertainty acceptance cultures are more comfortable with dealing with the unknown and with change. Long-term versus short-term orientation is about looking to the future. As Hofstede's research became dated, Globe confirmed his dimensions are still valid. Project Globe stands for Global Leadership and Organizational Behavior Effectiveness, which is an ongoing, cross-cultural investigation of leadership and national culture. The Globe research teams use data from hundreds of organizations and countries to identify 9 dimensions in which national cultures are diverse. Some of the Globe dimensions have the same or similar names as to Hofstede's. Expatriates live and work outside their native country. Being abruptly placed in a very different foreign country often leads to what's called culture shock. As a result, expatriates often unknowingly use inappropriate behaviors when they travel to foreign countries. Cultural values and beliefs are often unspoken and taken for granted, and even with a common language, accurate communication can be difficult. We tend to expect people to behave as we do. However, to be successful in the global village, you need to be sensitive to other cultures as you interact with people whose values and behaviors differ from your own. Companies seek employees who have intercultural competency. The demands of leadership are changing how leaders manage in the global village. U.S. concepts are no longer held up as the dominant model, especially because managing is different in countries with government ownership of corporations. One thing internationals and MNCs have in common is thinking and integrating globally, but they adapt to local market needs in specific countries. Leading MNCs have top-level managers who are foreign nationals and subsidiaries managed by foreign nationals. Small businesses often can't afford to hire foreign managers, but some use consultants as agents. In an MNC, there's one strategy for the entire company, not one per subsidiary. Worldwide coordination attains economies of scale, but still allows a country manager to respond to local customer needs and counter local competition. MNCs have standardized operations worldwide to attain economies of scale, and they make products to be sold worldwide, not just in local markets. Technology is developed internally through large research and development budgets, and they acquire small companies that develop the tech. MNCs search world markets to get the best rates and terms when borrowing and managing money. Products used to be developed in the home market and then brought to other countries later, which small companies still do, but the trend is towards global introduction of product. MNCs tend to have much larger marketing budgets to promote their products globally. There are 6 forms of global business. Global sourcing is hiring others outside the firm to perform work worldwide. It's also called outsourcing and offshoring, and it's expected to increase. When importing, a domestic firm buys products from foreign firms and sells them at home. Also known as cooperative contracts, internationals and MNCs use these 2 methods to go global. In franchising, the franchisor licensed the entire business to the franchisee for a fee and royalty. The franchisor provides a combination of services to the franchisee for an initial fee and a percentage of revenue. Contracting is similar to global sourcing, but it tends to be on a larger scale. Global product sourcing commonly includes using materials and parts from other companies in a firm's product. It's very difficult to go to a foreign country and operate a new venture on your own. Therefore, alliances and joint ventures are especially advantageous to smaller partners who want to go global but don't have the resource. A joint venture is created when 2 or more firms share ownership of a company. The two companies remain separate and independently controlled, but share the ownership and control of the new company created through the partnership. Direct investment is the building or buying of operating facilities in a foreign country. It's also called wholly owned affiliates or subsidiaries. Foreign direct investment is on the increase, as being local virtually eliminates trade barriers.